Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, whatever time you're listening in, wherever you're listening from. Shout out to my Spotify listenership, Apple and Google Podcasts, and YouTube if you're watching in. Thanks for giving me a reason to get dressed. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here. Be present and recognize that it's now, right now. Whether your right now is working, flying, running, driving, be thankful we're alive, baby. Failure can be frightening. However, as Winston Churchill reminds us, success is all about going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. This is I Will Not Lose podcast, where we set out to prove everything is learned from failure, and we must persevere and recognize it as one step closer to success. I'm your host, Tony Ortiz. Let's jump right in.
We ain't got to talk about that. Fuck that album. No, I'm just...
1, 2, 1, 2. All right, we're live.
Rolling.
What's up? What's up, man?
What's going on, Tom?
What's going
What's
on?
going on,
It's been
man?
a minute, man.
Hell yeah.
It's been a while.
I don't like either of you.
Yeah. We got Phaze back in the building. Phaze Wun, legendary producer, GOAT producer, and GOAT MC.
You were here
Tug
before,
McRaw.
right?
Yeah.
But we still had the green screen last time he was here.
Mhm.
That was a while ago. That was like 6-7 months ago, maybe more.
Probably.
I don't know. But you've been busy since then.
Been very busy.
Yeah, because you had just dropped Comp Slim 3.
Mm.
Or no, it was just about, I don't even think you had dropped Comp Slim 3 when we did the episode.
No, because I dropped that in, what's the 6th month? May? April? Or June. I can count.
You guys were working on the album for like 2 years, right?
Yeah, I thought it was one until I put up that behind the scenes post and that thing said 2 years ago. I said, oh.
Where you were working on Flowers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised it took that long. I mean, it would have been a lot quicker if we weren't adulting, having day jobs and
Right.
everything else that we got to do.
I feel the same way.
But I say, for how rarely we got to be able to get together, we did maybe not even a session a month, I would say.
No, probably not.
Probably not. And for how seldom we were able to link up, I think we got the album done in a decent time.
Yeah, because when you shared that post the other day about 2 years ago is when we did that song. Like right after then, I moved into my house because we moved in on Halloween 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I was in the transition of moving.
And we were already like 4 or 5 songs in.
Yeah. So there was a big gap in where like I was just down.
And I think only 1 or 2 songs didn't make the album. It was
I think a couple.
yeah. So,
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I figured there was like 20 tracks it started with or something.
nah,
Because the
I mean,
album's like a cool half an hour.
yeah.
So
There was going to be more cuts, but I saved a couple. There was a couple songs that I think the both of us felt that the beats weren't there.
Mm.
But we liked the song, but it just wasn't the best match, and I remade a couple of them.
I think you need to redo I Got It, the remix the beat, because that was fire, but it was just,
Yeah. That was a song that I already had and that you just jumped on though. So that's not like, we were just trying shit out.
still
you
fire.
gonna work it into book 2 then, or?
Yeah. That's already in the process on his end. And then once he digs the foundation, then I'll come in and start putting the stilts up. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Already in the making. It's a concept album, both 1 and 2 are both concepts, so it's already laid out and everything.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that, some of the concepts, kind of what I took from it. Man, I can't even tell you how many times I listened to this album,
No
man.
doubt.
Front to back, on shuffle, from Good Morning back. It's a great body of work.
Appreciate that.
You were you're back from a break. Like you kind of opened with that.
As far as like solo, because I just dropped the album 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 years ago with Nyla, shout out Nye.
Yeah.
We dropped it was more like an EP. It was only 6 tracks.
It's like 1986.
1936.
1936.
1936, yep.
Yep.
And then, I mean, I don't know how many people were plugged into that album. Like, I didn't go crazy pushing it hard like that. I mean, we recorded, we were sitting on that album for over 5 years.
Oh, man.
And it just wasn't, and then she finally moved to LA and I was like, I'm putting this shit out. Like, I've been sitting on it for way too long.
The next, me and Tug's next one's going to be 1945.
Hey. Oh Lord, what a year!
I see you in your post. You talk about playing music from older generations or older time, not even playing new stuff.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
is that
for
where
sure.
a lot of your inspiration comes from?
Nah, I if anything, that inspires my musicianship, like what I play. But as far as like the hip hop stuff, nah, I don't think so. No.
Fair enough. But no, I was listening to intro. It kind of opens up. You kind of open up saying, I'm back. I took too long.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for all my negligence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a conversation. You know, how do I want to start this album? I was literally...
That was the first song we did.
It was the first song we did.
Yeah.
Almost in order is how I recorded the album. Almost.
Oh, there you go.
So it was just a natural progression. How do I want to...
Yeah, and the last song, I did my verse last. It took me like 2 years to write that 8 bars.
You killed it. You killed it. I was like, he got all this time.
He
might outshine me a little bit, so you know what? He deserves it. He put a lot of work in. He can get on that. He got off on that. But it
closed up the album too. It was like the whole concept. Like you had that line in there about fool's gold. You know, it's all who knows who, and it's all fool's gold. And that really hit me. Like even the title track of Fool's Errand, where you go into, at least the way I grasped it, it's kind of like, you know, you're sharpening your skills, trying to be the best. The goal is to be put on or to make it, whatever the success is, you know. And
yeah, I took it once. The next generation was like, yo, who cares if you could rap good? If you could just say yeah all over a track and people like it. And that was like the wave. It kind of still is. You know what I mean? And I was just, I was taken back by that. Like, oh shit, people are actually agreeing with this? What have I been doing for the last decade? Sharpening my steel. What have I been doing? It's all just been for naught. It's been for nothing. So that's kind of where the album came from.
Yeah.
He was very jaded, very bitter, very upset. You know what I mean? And then by the end of the recording, I was like, I can't end it like this. Which is also why the last name of the song is Good Morning, but morning spelled as in a death. You're mourning something. Yeah. I want to leave that shit behind. And that's why there had to be a book 2, which will be the opposite of this one, which is filled with gratitude and positivity.
I don't know if you did this on purpose with that song or not, but my first album was called Good Morning, like that.
The same way?
Yeah.
Dude, see, no, but it's more beautiful that it's like that. Right. That's fucking amazing.
So it's the last song, but it's my first album. I'm on it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about my short journey in 8 bars.
Synchronicity. I think that's what they call it. Synchronicity, right?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That shit was crazy.
You said when you opened the verse, you said Tug introduced you to Chains. So you guys, this is the first time you guys connected on an album. You had that
on a full album.
That one sample in there where you're like, Tug, we never connected on the album. Now we connected on the album.
Plenty of songs. A lot of studio time with this dude.
Yeah, when I first
That's where I heard of you was in the little 90s style text. I'm trying to think, what was the track where you were in the record store? The coloring was like really yellow.
That was the video.
He say, she say.
He said, she said. Yeah.
I think I might have recorded that one in New York and Queens. Did I?
No, I think you recorded that with me because I had the spot in Whitehall.
No. I recorded that in Queens. Shout out Ed Rock. He was the DJ. Yeah, that cut up on the that cut up on the joint. I got the beat from you.
Yeah, because I had the spot in Whitehall. We had a song like I was like rapping not what do you call it? Recreationally. I was rapping recreationally with like my friends and stuff like that, but I was still doing beats for like Tug, and I was trying to start up a studio, and we had that beat. We had a song on that beat, and Tug really liked it. And he just did another song on it, and I was like, "Go for it," because you know we ain't really putting shit out. We're just like rapping for fun.
And he shot the video.
Yeah. Maybe I saw you in the director credits then.
Yeah, and I shot the video too. That was one of the first videos I ever shot.
Say word.
That's wild. That's wild. History.
That was like 2009.
I don't remember.
So what made you decide to connect on this one then? You come to him with the concept,
no. It was 100% Phaze. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna do another album, I figured I'm gonna do some impossible shit. Not impossible. I'm gonna play guitar and just rhyme the whole album. Like nobody's doing that anymore. I focused on my whole life doesn't mean anything, you know what I mean? Then I'm gonna switch lanes and let me get on this joint and show y'all it's crazy when you see it live. If you ever seen somebody do that live, it's pretty crazy. But he hit me up like, yo, we're doing an album. Fuck. All right. Yeah, he's gonna take care of everything. He did the majority of the work on it. He made all the beats. He did the album cover, kinda. He did. he mixed, mastered everything.
I did an album cover, and then it came down to last minute. We were like, "What are we doing with the album cover?"
Yeah, you showed me something completely different.
Yeah, no.
He played
you
when
think
he
the new
came
one's
over.
better than the one he showed you?
Which one? Honestly, I don't even remember the first one was like text. It was like a black and white Gucci style. I do remember that. No, I got partial to this one because I see it on my Spotify. Like it paints the color for the album. Like
right.
I think you made the right choice for going with this one. Yeah.
We got this album cover while the last 3 songs were uploading.
Right.
That's how last minute it was. 3 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah,
we got that.
He had an album cover in mind that he liked, and I really wasn't partial to it. And then when he sent it to me, I was like, dude, this is not like the file wasn't big enough. Like if I stretched it, it was gonna be pixelated. And I was like, we can't do that. We got to do something. And he didn't like
I liked it.
He did not like it, but he didn't feel like it fit.
I said it looks more like a mixtape than an album.
I was going to say, if I had any critique on what I remember of it, it felt more like it would go with Devin Haley's brand. Does that make sense?
Maybe. Like sometimes it takes me a while to really figure out an artist's aesthetic. So it's going to take over time trying different things until what fits them.
But you nailed it because this reminds me kind of the styling of the Language Arts Volume 2 when you had with the surgeon and stuff like that.
I've had that forte for a lot of my work volumes. There's a lot of book related stuff.
But they'll just the artwork.
Oh, you mean the artwork? Oh,
the artwork. Okay. I think that style of like that, the dark colors, the shading, the way that it is. I mean, it looks cohesive. It looks dope. But I wanted to get into that intro with the instrumental break. Mm-hmm. And then the guitar solo, then you bring the piano back in. Mm-hmm. I was texting Phaze. He was like, sounds like you need to be walking with spurs into a saloon or some shit for that. But then you have the sample about don't quit. Mm-hmm. It's like, is it worth doing any good? Yeah. I didn't write the exact sample down, but
no, for sure.
That kind of set the tone for the album.
Exactly. That's why I had to go in there. I've been sitting on that sample as well for years. And I was like, this is exactly how I feel every time I'm starting an album. And I was going to put it in my last album, but it just didn't fit. It didn't fit in the bacon and eggs anywhere. I tried to. I literally tried to fit it in there, but it didn't work.
Also on that, the background beat to where that sample is a reflip of a sample that the very first song we did together. So the other synchronicity is on the intro. I reflipped the sample that we did our first song together, and then on the outro, he used my first album's name inadvertently.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's wild. It's that binary
and
shit.
He didn't even realize the sample until
until the album was done. Basically,
he was like, "Yo, is this
the I want you to know joint?" Oh shit, that's crazy.
That's wild. So I got into. That was the next thing I wanted to talk about was kind of you guys' history, how you guys connected, just the story. You told a little bit about connecting with Chain and then creating that legacy.
Yeah, well,
over there.
How we first connected was actually through MySpace.
It was MySpace days, yeah, jeez.
Because I was in college at Full Sail, and MySpace was getting big, and I only stood a year down there in Orlando. So, I'm paying attention to what's going on in the hometown and stuff and artists. And then I came across Tug. I was like, yo, your music's dope. I like it. I'm coming back home at some point in time. So let's link when I get back into town. And
I think you sent me some tracks.
Probably.
Because, I got to hear it first.
Yeah.
Pass the vibe check. I was like, all right, we'll link up when you get back. it was dope. I was like, all right. And that first track we did.
Yeah, from there. And then
I was like, all right, you're going to need some. I think I linked you up with Cheney because he had the studio.
Yeah, because I had the place in Whitehall under my dad's shop that I was trying to build up. And he was like, oh, I know this guy who has, more stuff. He's been doing it a long time. Maybe link up with him. He'll help you out.
I just connected the dots. That's all.
That's how you got to do it. That vibe check is important. You know what I mean? It sounds so cohesive. The different, like, the one sample where it's not a sample, you straight up left in the original raw audio where you're like, okay, I'm definitely going to redo that. And then the song just like cuts out and goes to the next track or whatever.
Uneven?
Yeah. Uneven. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
An uneven.
That was real. That wasn't acting. That's how. And he was just like, "Nah, we're keeping it like that." So, all right, whatever you say, producer man.
And you started off with one of those like, because that's done a lot in hip hop where it's like you'll start off saying something and say leave that in or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you did that, but without saying leave it in. I was like, all right, that's perfect. Spit the verse, cut out from there.
I just feel like doing stuff like that like brings the listener into
the world,
the process, and into the world of the album. Like you feel included, like you're in the room with them.
Well, you do a good job of that on all your projects because it's like, how many people put out albums you don't even know who the producer is?
Right.
They got a couple beats from over here. They did this. They made track number 4 and they put the compilation together. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but you could really feel that process. So that's cool.
Yeah, it keeps everything cohesive. Like so many people's projects just sound like thrown together, and you get different qualities and different, like a whole different sound from like song to song on a lot of people's, especially local albums. And it's like, this doesn't feel cohesive. So,
well, I don't know. It's all the fool's errand, right? At least as far as book 1 is concerned.
Yeah.
You're talking specifically about rap and the whole.
Yeah,
I think it's
specifically about rap and
the I don't want to say the newer form of rap, but it's kind of evolved into like TikTok and viral stuff. Like it's, I mean, even with podcasting, people are going to see clips from this and they're not going to go and watch the whole episode. They're just going to be like,
got that much time on their hands.
Yep, 6 seconds, cool. That's what they said.
Yeah,
that's cool. It happened.
That's also why every song is like not even 3 minutes on this project.
I didn't even notice that. That makes sense though. Yeah,
it's easier to listen to.
Yeah.
The time. I don't know what the word is. The time horizons for songs anymore.
Attention spans.
The span has shortened over the past, I don't know.
Shit, we used to do 3/16s.
3, yeah.
Mandatory. Every single song. That was like
chorus, that was the format.
That was the recipe.
Yeah, I sent you one of them old songs we did back in the day. Your Bitch Chose Me. Okay. John, and I think you had 3 verses on that, and I listened to that, and I was like, "Dave, you got another verse?" I'm like, I'm ready for the song to be over, dude.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it makes my job a lot easier. Shit, I don't even got to write 16. I think there might be a 12-bar verse on this new album. I might just said, "Fuck it, that's it. That's it. That's all I need. Ain't no rules no more. Fuck all that. Here's 8 bars. There you go. Take that with you."
Yeah, if something's not happening with the beat or the track's not
moving,
if it's not
shifting up,
if it's not proceeding in a way that's interesting to the listener, they're like, what is going on? Like I just listened to I don't know if you guys listened to the new West Side Gun.
I haven't heard it yet,
and it's like it's good, like the beats are good, but then it's like 6-minute songs where the beat doesn't change at all, and there's like 5 dudes on it, and you're just like,
that could work if it's done right, because Wu-Tang did that shit all the time. As long as you get a new voice, that's the thing that changes up is the rapper type shit. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
It just gets listening intensive.
Gonna have to check it out.
Maybe that's just something that maybe is meant to throw on. I don't know. Like music has some of it feels better in hoodie season. Some of it feels better in the car. Sometimes it's like, all right, when I'm with my boys, I just want to throw on something.
Yeah, when you out at the club, you don't want to listen to my shit. You wanna see that shit that makes a female shake.
Imagine Quarter Pocket coming on in the club.
Yeah, like what is this?
It does, everything does have its purpose. But I'm not judging it that way. I'm just judging from a general perspective of listening, so if you're not making something that's not aesthetically entertaining, but something to keep people involved throughout,
it has multiple dimensions, it has multiple levels. It's not just a drum kick bass line and you
for
know
3
what I mean?
minutes.
Yeah. But I wanted to get into some lyrics. It's funny, you have a ton of great features, awesome features on this album. I think they were well selected. It hit the flow very well. But you had Down the Rabbit Hole, Deeper Than the Catacombs. This is a one-man journey, son. You'll be mad alone. That was... This album is full with bars like that, where it's like, I don't know if you're mad at yourself. Puzzles, you're kind of like questioning. There's a lot of like questioning going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole mentality of a fool's errand, is realizing you've been on a fool's errand and then the contemplation that goes on thereafter. That's what this whole fucking album. Not the whole album, but majority of the album. For sure. For sure.
Well done, man.
It's a very super one-sided perspective, but
it works out because like I feel the same way too as a producer and being into rap the whole time. Like we go through our adult lives like chasing this dream, and then you find out that most of the rappers that are on have like an uncle who's like the CEO and shit, and you're
nepotism.
Like, yeah,
I didn't realize there was nepotism in hip hop.
You find out all these things, and you're like, oh, okay, so it was probably not really possible ever.
But again, that's why book 2 has to be made, because I can't end. Say it might be my last time. I can't end on that note.
Yeah.
So it's gonna end with happiness, gratitude. Book 2.
I felt like that was the transformation in Body Rot. You had like
at the end, you mean? No, go ahead.
Well, you had said, I think you said, I think I'm coming off kind of depressing. I think that was in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was kind of like switching. It was like, okay, I'm going to.
I get it. You're tired of hearing me complain. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do this. Until. That's a crazy metaphor, Body Rot. That ain't even until I die. Like you die, your body's still there.
It's still there. And at the very end of that song, he with his production, he puts in a glimmer of hope right at the end. If you listen to the song at the very end, there's a nice little glimmer of hope right at the very end, production wise.
Yeah, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel there.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I have to check that out. That changed a bit too. You played that for me. You played an earlier version of Body Rot.
I think so, after our first interview.
Yeah, that was when you showed me the cover. So that's crazy. I can't imagine how many different versions everything went through. And it's still probably to the point where you listen to it now and you're like, oh man, I wanted to do this or switch this. Or are you completely satisfied?
I'm never fully completely satisfied, but that's what keeps an artist going. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me all these years later still going back to the studio. But I'm very satisfied. I'm completely satisfied with it as a whole, as a project. You know what I mean? I think it came out great like that. I think it's maybe, as far as like concept, it's probably my most complete album ever. As far as concept,
I agree. That's what I wanted to do for Tug too.
Super
like
mature,
because we've been friends and musical friends for a long time, and he's put out projects where I'm like, I wish I was involved, and I just wasn't. I was like, he needs a project with one producer. Mm-hmm. He's that type of artist, and I feel like I could do that for him. So before our time is up, we need to do it.
Well, we got one more on deck.
Right.
We got one more on deck, buddy.
There you go. I thought that
this is like the Hit Boy Nas shit.
No, you think about, I mean, Nas dropped an album with Kanye. That's the thing. It doesn't always work. You can't just say, let me take the best producer, the best lyricist, and now it's going to be crazy. Like, so
this didn't happen overnight. This took years and years to get to this point for me and him working together. You know, it took me years just to be able to give up control over certain things musically. You know what I mean? There's certain things like, you got to keep this in, and me.
Yeah, you did all your mixing for a while too, right?
I did everything for a while. And I had no choice, you know.
Yeah, I have that problem too. That's why I do so many things. But working with different artists over the course of time, like you just learn to like try to push where you can, where you feel things should be, and then your artist also has their perspective too.
There's psychology that goes into being able to deal with people, especially artists.
We're
the worst.
And I know because I'm an artist too. So like I know like when somebody like critiques what I've done that I really love, and they're like, oh, maybe do it red. And I'm like, no, that'll fuck everything up. So I understand the feeling. So I try not to push too much, and we try to like come to an agreement.
Yeah, it's what's best for the song.
Yeah. So yeah, it gets
if it's third quarter, we're down 15, maybe I need to sit the bench and let him
that's kind of that's kind of that's kind of what happened towards the end. We're like, we're never gonna stop like doing different renditions of things. Like I need to cut myself off, put a date on it. Like we need to have it done by then. Yeah. And it literally, like you said, it came down to the last seconds on the shot clock.
And then Friday the 13th. Yeah. So you picked that as the date and then got everything done for it by then.
Yeah.
He told me I needed, what'd you say? Tuesdays and Fridays or something. He told me you need to pick one of these days.
Yeah.
So I just went down. I was like, oh.
Yeah, Fridays for like Spotify and stuff, you have like a better chance of like landing on playlists or something. So we just picked whatever the next Friday was and put it for that.
That works, man. Some of my other favorite lyrics, School of Hard Knocks, but now it's like I'm back from college, gotta ease up. This was in Flowers, where this is a really important track for the album.
Okay.
Because you're talking about, essentially from what I took it, like relaxing, enjoying life, not making it so much about being top 5 alive. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of, like you said, rhyming's my silver lining, but also spending time
with the family,
spending time with the daughter, my boys, when I go out.
The song was more like it is kind of like a breather from the album, but it was more like me highlighting the fact that I know I'm allowed to deal with in my personal life. I could be fucking stupid sometimes. I could be, I might black out the bar and you're gonna have to drag me out that bitch. Like I'm not easy to deal with. I mean, I think I am, but I'm being an extremist on the topic and just giving the people in my life they flowers. It's an appreciation song for my shortcomings and the people that deal with me. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I took it as like a even like in the chorus. That's take the time, stop and smell your flowers. Yeah. I mean, I was listening to that. I gave it another playthrough as I was taking my notes. Before then, I was just kind of listening and formulating. But this time when I hit it, it's like, dude, I'm appreciative of a lot of shit. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is...
And how often do we take our time out to show that appreciation, to show that gratitude? Probably not as much as we should. So I dedicated a song to it.
There you go. Now it's in there forever. We got another Tug and King Mag track.
Okay.
You guys are no stranger to
working with each other. So that was cool. You guys, were you guys in the studio or did you send verses? No, that one we sent verses. I got on a track for his project. I don't know what he's going to use it on. I went out to see him, but this one, no. This one, I was there for his verse in his studio. And then I had to I did mine separately. But it was mandatory. We've been getting on each other's projects for years now.
Since back when you had pen and paper. That was That like nobody writes their verses anymore. Nobody has like a fucking notepad.
And shout out King Magnetic. All of any somewhat big features or songs that I had with people that have names all been through King Magnetic. All of them. So shout out you, my guy.
Trifecta with Joel Ortiz comes to mind.
For instance, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you if we threw that verse, if you gave me just the first part of it, I could probably spit that whole verse. I throw that on every now and then.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember how it ends with show's over, lower the lights.
Good anchor.
I never had a chance to work with Mag either, so it's like me and Mag have...
Oh, that was the first time he ever got on one of your beats?
Yeah. So that was cool too.
Nice.
So because I know Mag makes beats too, so he doesn't typically just hop on other people's shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad we can make that happen. There was one line, and I wanted to go back to Body Rap for a second, but you had kind of ended, considered to be a shoo-in, but life had other plans. I'm still in the boulevard.
A heart filled with regret, and pockets full of hard.
Yeah. Like,
it's Viagra.
Do you regret? Yeah, right.
In your world, it is Phaze. No, go ahead.
Oh, shit. Do you have regrets for, I mean, the fool contemplates the errand. Do you have regrets for the stuff that you like spending all the time? I mean, I know the obvious.
Of course. I mean, of course, I could be in a whole different place in life if I did different things when I was a teenager. But I promise you, you wouldn't have a song like Body Rock. You wouldn't have an album like this. So, you know, it's give and take. It's give and take. Because if I would have stayed off the block and went to college, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, my song, everything would be different. But yeah, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say because it helped build my character too.
He would have been sitting next to the guy who he made the album for.
Yeah, you never know, probably
like this guy.
That's why it's hard to regret shit, man.
Yeah, it's hard to regret stuff. Yeah, you never know.
The title track, you really let it all out on the Fool's Errand. That was an interesting placement to not have it like right early in the beginning, you know? I mean, just the name of the album, you can kind of get the concept, but it's how that concept applies to you personally and how it did where, you know, you're thankful for what music gave to you for
of course.
The character, like just even therapy. It seems like a release. You had said that in a couple tracks where it's like, you know, get on the mic and just shoot the shit. That was I can't remember which track that's from, but you've said a lot in your music that this is something that kind of keeps you sane.
Yeah. No, that's true. It's true. You know, everybody has a thing, what they do. And at this point, I mean, it might sound weird. Like I don't do this to be famous for money. I don't do this for pats on the back no more. My main reason is self-therapy type shit.
I still do it for pats on the back. I need pats on the back.
He needs the pats on the back.
And then when too many people start doing it, I'm like, get away from me. Yeah. I need people to not like me again. Now we need some controversy.
But I also hope that comes through during the music and that might reach people more than say other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I hope people can also appreciate that when they hear the album. Like, yo, this is real. This is sincere. You know what I mean? I believe what he's saying. I feel this type shit. So,
well, I don't know. You guys know the numbers, but I don't know how much of it is like brand new listeners versus like, I mean, I can't imagine somebody coming into a Fool's Errand and then going back. Like, I'd be almost jealous to have the whole back catalog to be able to dig through and kind of see where that growth comes from. Because there was a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I did see people say like, where's the bars? Like, where's the
like metaphors bars and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, just the lyricism. Like, I can't think of a track for an example.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one thing I did with this album. I didn't get beats from him and then go home and write to them and perfect them. You know what I mean? That's what I did for every album. I'm going to ponder on this. And that's also like what comes from, you can hear that in the Bukowski song where the sample comes on and he's talking about, I'm not trying to fiddle with my shit. I don't care about the old shit. I didn't try to be acrobat. I wasn't trying to be flashy and lyrical, miracle, spiritual bullshit. I went in the fucking studio and every single song, he was making the beat and I just write right there, whatever comes to mind. I didn't have time to revise anything. I didn't have time to fix anything. I just went in there and just said what was on my heart and my mind at the time. And
that's the song.
And that's the song. And if you're coming from your heart and your mind doesn't think lyrical, miracle, spiritual bullshit. You just come out, you just start saying shit.
That's why my verse took so long.
Yeah, because you were doing all that fancy shit.
Because I was doing that. And he had the song done, for a long time before I was like, I need to get on that. But there was that gap in between his verses, and I knew what I wanted to do with it, which was I wanted to rhyme off of his last line and also come back in to his first line of the second verse. So that's what kind of made me take so long because I needed to fit it in there in the right way. And I didn't know if I wanted to tell the story that I told or if I just wanted to like just be nice. So, once that both. Once the album was done, I was like, No, I have to tell the story. I have to go back to my original plan, which was to tell my story in 8 bars.
Like you said, doing it for 10 years for people to be not moving the same.
Right.
Yeah. You summed up the whole Fool's Errand in a single verse at the end. That was dope.
And that is him on the vocals at the very end.
Yeah.
I mean like the singing vocals at the very end of Good Morning.
You're singing at the end of Good Morning?
If you make it to the end,
it cuts out for a second and then it comes back with like almost like a Kid Cudi type instrumentation. Yeah, the guitar.
Yeah, the guitar.
Yeah, that's Tug playing the guitar and I did like little humming on it.
Oh, does it have auto-tune on it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I do remember that part now. Yeah, I do remember. Okay.
And the guitar solo that you think is a guitar solo on the intro is also me.
On the
keys, is that you playing?
No, it's my voice.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
You play around with stuff. Pause.
That's wild. Oh, man. I have that sample in Uneven. I mean, that pretty much runs through the whole album. We could play some music. We could just get into some of the other stuff. I don't know if there was anything. What's going to connect with my listeners is the idea, especially book 2, where, you know, it's about your success learned from failure. So, or reframing failure. That's a big concept on the show.
Success.
Like,
right.
Reframing success, reframing failure.
That's good because I actually did want to bring that up too, because I get this a lot. I don't know if you do, is when, other people try to comment on your so-called music career, and then they go, "Oh, if you're so nice, why aren't you rich and famous yet?" and stuff like that. And it's like, I mean, maybe at one point we were attempting to go for that, but it comes to a point where you become content in what you have achieved, and you're like, you look at the people who are rich and famous for music, and then you look at how their lives have gone, and you're like, it doesn't seem like a great life. And my life's pretty good. So, you know, I'm happy with what I've done.
Yeah, I don't really get the people saying, well, if you're so nice, why don't you make it? I get the, why haven't you make it? That makes no sense. And I'm
That's always been my thing.
It's so frustrating when somebody asks me that. Like, I don't know, you tell me. Well, why don't you do it? Well, fucking be my manager then. How about that? Right. I'm taking applications for managers. What's good?
There you go.
Right. Yeah. There's way too many rappers, not enough managers. And that has been a problem in the local scene for a long time, is that everybody wants to be the man, but they don't want to get behind someone and help them in ways that they need. And that's what I've always tried to do, which is why I produce and I engineer, and Tug shot videos, I shot videos. And
I stopped rapping and picked up a guitar.
Yeah.
I was a guitar player for a singer for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. For not the girl who sang on Flowers.
Oh,
I was her guitar player.
That's
for
super
years.
dope.
We go out and do shows.
That's super dope. Did you ever post any of that, or?
Yeah. I posted some stuff. There's some clips, but you know, I'm not every day.
Yeah, that's hard.
On social media, it's too much to deal with. But every now and then, you know what I mean?
Tug's just an old school underground rapper.
I'm just like, yo, get off my lawn, son. Get off my lawn.
What you need to do is get on TikTok with that guitar and
Yeah, nah. I do have a TikTok and I posted like 1 or 2 things. But again, it's so many to juggle with. Like, you're right. That's what you got to do. But I would love to get to the point where I could just have somebody do that shit for me. Like, go ahead, here, you have control. I'm pretty sure my music page probably still has a couple people who are allowed to do shit on my page that I just completely fucking forgot about.
Could be. You need it's like a paywall though. Like you could post and you could put stuff out, but if you really want stuff to go viral, like,
it's money.
Yeah, and I don't know TikTok's algorithm like that, but with everything else that I've worked with,
it's better. I'm not on TikTok, but the algorithm's better than Instagram. Like, I had that problem too. Like with everything, I have the same problem. Like, I start doing these things, and then it's just diminishing returns and engagement, and then you're like, what am I doing this still for? And so it happened with videos. It happened with rapping. It happened with Instagram and photography, and it's just like, when you first started, when TikTok or not TikTok, like Instagram first started, people would start following you for they like your pictures or whatever you're posting. And then eventually your content starts to get better, but I didn't get like a new follower for like 2 years. Like, even though the content is progressing in a better way, like,
yeah, it has nothing to do with the content,
Right.
because I've had something go viral on Instagram that had like 100 views on YouTube. Like, it's, how do I have 33,000 over here for the same piece of content? Didn't do nothing different. Description's the same.
Yeah, and I hate that shit. Like, why can't we just focus on what matters? It's the fucking music.
right.
Like, I just want to get drunk and go fishing and make music for people that like my music. That's all I want to do.
It was the same thing with videos. Like when we were started doing videos in like 2009, 2010, and everybody wanted to do, or at least attempt to do, like these elaborate videos and have multiple locations and a storyline and all this type of stuff and video girls.
Nope.
And then it's like you do all this stuff and then YouTube's cutting your organic views down by 90%. So, back when music videos were really a pretty popular thing, we would easily get at least 1,000 views, if not between 1,000 and 5 to 10, depending.
Right. Yeah.
Like with like no paying, just organically people
Checks
watching your
out.
video.
Yeah.
So once like 2017 or something, like 16, 17, they literally just like turn the spigot off. And I was telling everyone, like, dude, like videos ain't it no more. You need to just click go live on your phone. Fuck doing shows. What are you doing shows for? Like, you waste your whole day like preparing and trying to get people to come, and then 10 people come, if that, and you're upset. You could just hit go live and at least double will watch. You'll at least get 20 views.
Yeah.
Instead of 10. So just perform on live. You could do that. And with the videos, I just started doing one location video. We just set the camera up. We perform the song. I don't got to edit shit. That's the video.
Yeah.
Just find a nice location that looks decent. Do your song. There's your video.
Walking around with the camera inside the house, spitting into the camera.
Yeah.
No, those videos are tight though. It just gives you some sort of visual. It gives you something else. That was like, was that 2009? When did you do the video for Like Nobody?
Oh shit.
Yeah, it might have been.
Nah, I think it might have been a little earlier, maybe 2008. I mean, we could check it real quick, but I did that. I shot that one myself, and that was so old. I think it was before DSLRs dropped.
Yeah, because you started fucking with Champ, and
Champ. Yeah, that was back. I think
he started probably around 2006, 2007.
A little bit before that, because he shot my video with Jinx, with the When Truth Attacks video in 2006. I'm pretty sure I was the only motherfucker out here with a music video at the time.
Yeah,
like the first. I could be wrong, but and then he used to take me on jobs because I was on I ended up having to move in up the block for him, and I couldn't really. Long story short, I wasn't able to leave the house. So I would go and he would show me I was editing stuff, and he put me on. He'd take me to jobs with him after I got off of that situation. Take me to jobs with him. He made me the cameraman. He taught me how to chop it up, edit. He just took me under his wing back in the day. And then that's how I started from there. Yeah, that Like Nobody video was shot with the JVC little handheld thing like this big.
Yeah.
Just walking around the town with that thing. That was like, I think that's when 1080 first was available to the public for like public consumption.
Was that in 1080?
720 HD was a thing.
Yeah, I thought the video had to be in 720.
We were like,
was so
yo,
small.
it's in HD.
Yeah,
that's all we cared about.
Yeah, SD. Everything was SD before that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. But man,
Yeah,
all
making
those
me
different
feel-
travels that you take on, like creating, just being a creator in general, you know what I mean? I had to stop last week and just look at like even what I created with the show. I'm like, damn, I'm a hell of a hobbyist.
Yeah.
I get sucked into stuff.
Yeah, you didn't invest into this for nothing.
Yeah. Waiting on some equipment to come in. But I don't know if we do play any music. You want to play Good Morning? That got the both
Whatever
of
you want
on
to
it?
play. We on your show right now.
I'm gonna have to use one of your phones though, because mine's recording.
Oh.
You can use my crack screen if you want.
Word.
What's your favorite track of the album?
Bounces. Like, I like Body Rot a lot, but I can't play Body Rot all the time. Like when I'm in the shower in the morning and stuff.
Yeah. Sure. No, I get it.
But for the most part, I like it as a whole. I listen to it when I'm designing and I throw stuff in. I love the beat on intro. Corner Pocket's one of my craziest, but it's like
That's a fun song.
that's what I would say. It's like a fun song. Like it's not like you don't put it in there to
Shout out these skills.
these skills, yeah, definitely. He surprised me on that. I don't read the track list before I do. I just throw an album and go on from there. So I was like, oh shit. And then he matched your flow where you guys kind of did the stop and go. I don't know what to call it, but
all the OG Bethlemites know these skills.
Yeah.
now that you say it, I think it makes more sense that all the tracks are under 3 minutes. Because I can't think of, like, I know the chorus for Flowers, and I know the chorus for Wise is the Man that knows he knows nothing.
Yeah.
That's an interesting quote. That goes, my listeners can definitely relate with that as well, too, because people think success is like this place that you get to, and you get there and you're like, shit, I'm not there. What the fuck? So,
fun fact, that wasn't even the original beat for that song.
no?
I rapped over the whole totally different beat. There's a few songs on there that he went and said, fuck this beat, and made it better and produced the whole song underneath my lyrics that I already recorded to something different. And that's one of them.
That's wild. That's wild. Do you guys have any behind the scenes? Do you have any besides I saw you post the flowers making, but
not besides what he posted, and then L Money did the one little teaser for us.
I didn't see that.
That was about it.
Yeah, it's on my IG. It's when it was right before I started recording the Bukowski track. That was supposed to be, honestly, Bukowski actually was just going to be called Interlude. I just recorded it as an interlude, one verse, until he started, I think around that time, in the middle of the album, he started understanding truly where I was going with the album. And he found that passage from Charles Bukowski, the American poet. And I didn't even know about Bukowski. I heard of the name, but he put it on. I said, yo, that shit is perfect. That's great. Like, this is perfect. And then I looked up Charles Bukowski and I started learning. I went down that rabbit hole and I was like, okay, he's like stoicism. What do they call it?
Stoicism.
Stoicism, yeah. And I was like, this is falls in line with the album. And I said, fuck it. I'm just going to call this track Bukowski now instead of Interlude, which was boring as shit. But
yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's wild. No, you're putting me on. I didn't know about Bukowski.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit. Like next album, we should definitely do more behind the scenes footage and documenting.
You have to.
It'll be good because this is going to be a happy album. So there'll be a lot more smiles.
Yeah.
Than ice grills.
No, but
yeah. So for a long time we had like the bones of the album, and Tug's like, what are we gonna do with this song? What are we gonna do with that song? Like they're just like unfinished. And I'm like, you just wait. Yeah. Just give me some time.
Save it.
Because like to find like the Bukowski thing, like I have to go through and listen to a bunch of different things until that one thing strikes you.
Was that the actual poet's voice, or was that somebody just?
No, yeah, that was him from an interview.
Oh shit. Okay. See, I'm gonna learn the stuff about that album still.
Yeah, right. That's wild.
Yeah. So,
well, we're talking about it. You want to throw Bukowski on so we could keep the listeners engaged with what we got going on. So you could talk over it, but for the most part, I think our mics are going to be muted for this part.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yo, 1, 2. Check.
There you go.
Yeah.
It is raw because,
Okay.
especially for your album
I'll
here,
take
like
it
with
from
all
here,
these
come
songs.
follow my lead. I do it all for the love, not the power and greed. Somebody tell me why the good never make it. It's a science
production
project
aspect
stuck in the
is
trap.
different
Most
too,
never
because I
escape
feel
it. My
like
first felony
he
at
sounds really
17.
good on
What the fuck is going on? Life is but a dream.
Straight
Through the
loops.
smiles and frowns, round
So
and
in a lot
round
of the
and
songs,
round
I
we
didn't
go.
do
Till we
much
6 feet
for the
under and
samples.
down we go. Or scorched
As
by
opposed to,
hellfire and
you heard
set me
my other
free.
projects, it's
Ashes
like-
to ashes and let me be. If it wasn't for
Just
Naya
different
shit, I
techniques.
might have bust my flame. But the love was so big it obstructs
let
my
the
aim.
artist shine.
More
That
riches
makes
and
sense.
peace to all kids in the streets. We all want the penthouse,
There's
but
too
we're
much
living
going on with the
beneath.
beat and the
Stick it
lyrics.
for your mom dukes. Live check to
That's
check.
those beats are more for the rappers that just say yeah on the track.
Yeah.
Those complicated beats cover up the lack of wordplay,
Right.
so it fits better with that. So for
Shout out to the rappers, man.
Yeah,
Keep
shout out
doing,
to them.
Keep doing what you're
I ain't
doing.
a hate. Shout out to them. Put me on a feature. What's good?
Tempo plays a big part in that too.
Jolly it up.
And
It's gone. It's done. If you can't
think
write the
that's,
next line, well,
another
you're dead.
aspect that's a little
The
bit.
past doesn't matter.
I think that's another aspect that's a little bit different from this album to your previous ones, is especially because of the time gap in when albums got done, is tempos have gone double time from then, and beats within the 89 to 98 aren't really used because they sound old school now to most fans coming into it now. So my tempo range that I produce in mostly is like in the 80s to like low 90s. So we haven't really heard Tug on slightly slower beats.
Slower beats. That makes a lot of
but
sense.
still not in the range of double time, because then we're talking about like, then we have to go to like 80, like on Corner Pocket.
Yeah.
That's more of a double time.
Yeah.
And
You'd almost sound different. Yeah. There was one track, I can't remember which one it was, but you sounded different. I don't know if it was maybe it was a feature, but it was like, I don't know if he did it on purpose. The first half of his verse, it didn't sound like Tug, and then it slowly started to sound more like Tug.
Project?
Yeah.
Yeah, what song is that? I'm curious.
When you did Good Morning, did you come back afterwards after he spit?
No.
he had it
was
done.
just one
That might be it, because
I just went in the
he syllable wise was way more rapid fire than I was on that track. I was laid back.
Yeah.
And then when he came on, it was very rapid syllable fire. So to go from that back to my ease back, it might have sounded a little off, but
yeah, that might have been the
and I utilized the Jay-Z reference on there when I did the Full Sail Introduced Me to Kane, because Jay-Z had the thing that he was getting introduced to cocaine, and my old I'm not partner, music collaborator that I went to Full Sail with, his name is Kane. So I said, Full Sail introduced me to Kane, came back, Tug introduced me to Chain.
Yeah.
So that's like a
yeah.
whole Jay-Z reference in there too.
That was super dope. I was like, I threw my headphones on tight when you first came on that track, the first listen to, and then that's probably Good Morning's probably one of my favorite tracks on but that could change depending on my mood. That's like right now.
My grandma line might be one of my favorite lines on the album.
I like that line too.
Where you embrace the love. I don't know the exact line, but you had said that she has a
Cuddy Whip from Alabama, riding through the back streets on my way to see my grandma. She got a plate of rice and beans, a couple fried bananas. Not much, but as much love as I can handle.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that one. But we'll throw on Good Morning and then maybe start landing the plane.
For sure.
Yeah. Straight talked over the casket.
That's all right.
I'll mix it. I'll make it work.
It was amazing.
That's good. People will like that. Like you can drop the music lower in and out, and people like to hear commentary. If they want to hear the song, they can go play it.
I got a pocket full of stones, a heart full of dreams, mind filled with ideas and everything in between. Block filled with criminals. When I be on the scene, I know it sound familiar, but it ain't always what it seems. I be round them artists and provocateurs. I seen what the prophets saw in the project.
I always wanted to use provocateur in a song. That's a great word.
Ill word choice, man.
I got 100 and a hammer, Cuddy whip from Alabama, riding through the back streets on the way to see my grandma. She got a plate of rice and beans, a couple fried bananas. Not much, but as much love as I can handle. Far from perfect, but I'm worth it. Guaranteed your head bang with every single purchase. With Phaze on the track, I could black out on purpose. Further from this rap game, I call a circus. I'm called a service since 06. Full Sail introduced me to Kane. I came home, Tug introduced me to Chain. Jumped in the game, producing and had me proving my name. I spent a decade for people not to be moving the same. Who's to blame, but who knows? The shit is about the who knows who and the you knows that give you kudos. It's been fool's gold, jump through the loopholes. The goal is to put you in a trap. I'm old now, but not new to the fact. Most of the time, I ain't even in the mood to rap. All these weirdo rappers done went and ruined that. I need some new friends, my old ones gave up, still doing the grind. Ain't too many that's congruent with mine. Rise and take a bomb with for breakfast. Then I casually claim my right to the whole world while you rather be lame. Aim to incite light in the back of your brain. Stacking that change while you chase after the fame. I'll forever be something you never be, a different pedigree. Let it be and leave it alone, you feel the energy. Signing off, so I'm chucking deuces. At least by now you know what truth is.
Yeah, this gave me like Kid
You said
Cudi
Kid
vibes.
Cudi?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know what that means. I gotta listen to Kid Cudi album.
He's famously known for his humming.
Oh, okay.
But this, my wife loves this part. She was like, this part needs to be its own song.
Well, it is the bridge to the next album.
Okay.
Why it's good morning, morning as in death. I'm saying goodbye to this mentality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into put that one to bed, and now we're gonna a new day. It's also why there's no. At least I think that's why you didn't put it in. No, I don't think I played it. There's no resolution. So if you know about music theory, I stop right before the last note when there should be a resolution because it keeps it open for the next album.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Wow,
that's what Queen did, and with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, okay.
Like, everybody thinks the song ends with what's the end of the chorus?
Nothing for tomorrow.
I can't even think of the song right now. Here, let's put it up.
You look it up.
Yeah, this is some real music nerd shit. I love it.
Yeah.
But don't give me copyright flag though.
No. You can cut this out. That it ends with "We are the champions of the world," but it doesn't.
They just say "We are the champions," and of the world is in your head. I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
Super dope. Psychology.
Yeah.
Goat producer. Goat MC.
Mm-hmm.
Finally connected on the album.
Yeah.
Getting another one. Imagine the person that finds book 2, like they just stumble across Tug McRaw, book 2. They're like, oh shit, there's a book 1. And they're like, oh shit, he's been doing this shit for 15, 20 fucking years.
Yeah, that's how it was with the language arts, the volume. I went up to volume 4, I think. Volume 4 was the bacon and eggs joint.
Yeah, I think you did.
What? Oh, was Bacon and Eggs volume 4?
Language arts, volume 4, bacon
Makes
and eggs.
sense, yeah. That one had Vulcan Death Grip.
Shout out Boo's Brothers, yeah.
I like that album.
Yeah,
like
that was
that
the
album.
I tell people, they was like, why bacon and eggs? I said, cause man, you don't want to turn up and shake your ass as soon as you wake up. You need some wake up music. You need some bacon and eggs when you get up. You know, roll to the store, smokes, do an L ride, go to the store, do what you got to do. That's when you play this album.
I do wake up and shake my ass though.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. There you go. Now, I got my different morning wake up music, but that'll set the tone
different.
for my whole day.
Exactly.
It makes sense. I've been actually rocking, you know who is great morning wake up music? And this is not a diss anyway, but Quesa. I've been throwing on Quesa, a little gospel rap. Give me like, it's not quite as slow as like a ballad type gospel song.
Me and
But it
Quasa
still
are
gets the
working on
message.
an album too.
Oh, see, I was gonna leave that unresolved so that we could lead it into the next episode.
I just
shout out to Quace of the Artist, but that's dope. You guys are welcome to come back on the show anytime.
For sure.
Whether you got something to promote or not. Just talk music, shoot the shit.
I'll be back for book two.
Yeah, definitely
sure.
come on for book 2. It's cool to give the listeners a little more behind it because nobody appreciates that an album takes 2 years. And especially when this guy drops them, like, you might have to slow down just because it...
Yeah, he's been on a tear this whole year. Was it 4 albums you dropped this year?
5 technically.
5.
Because I put out, you remember the artist we used to work with, Jimmy Breaks?
Okay. The whole, and when I say project, you produced the whole entire album of those 5.
There was a little chain on the Jimmy, right?
Yeah, the me and Jimmy, or Jimmy Breaks album is me and Rick.
Okay.
So yeah, technically yes.
Nice.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's been putting a lot of work. This album is basically half his album.
Yeah,
it's basically our album. That's why I hit you up to do the thing, and I was like, yo, you got to come with me, bro. This is just as much your album as it is mine. So
yeah, for sure. And we plugged it too, so that's cool. We keep everything going. But I don't know if you have any closing thoughts.
Stream the book 1 of Fool's Errand everywhere you stream your music. We already about to be back in the lab for book 2, and I hope you enjoy it. Tony, I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
You said you're on Instagram, right?
Yeah, Tug McRaw, TUGMCRAW.
Where else you got any other social or anything you need to shout out?
Just hit up my IG. I reached my friend limit already for Facebook, so I can't really add people unless I start deleting people.
I found him on Pornhub, actually. So
yeah,
you can check out his
there you
Pornhub
go.
channel.
Check out the OnlyFans. You know, it's a fool's errand. It's a fool's errand. At least he's transparent. It ain't the music.
Yeah.
It's all there. It's all there.
But yeah, man. Spread the word. If you like the album, send your friend the link, man. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Shout out your social, Phaze.
Oh.
Where do you want people to check you out?
What's my Instagram now? It's just a Phaze.
It's just a Phaze. Yeah.
It's just a Phaze on everything. Just search it. Search Phaze Wun. Pretty easy to find. Tug is very hard to find on the internet. I'm not. So you can find me through him.
Yeah, there you go.
If you just search Tug McRaw
the baseball
and then put Phaze, the baseball guy comes up.
Yeah, the baseball
so put Tug McRaw Phaze Wun and it'll come up.
Yep. Man, I was tight when I lost my iPod. I had Language Arts Volume 2. I actually bought it and back then when you lost iTunes, like when you didn't have the account, you lost all the music that you purchased.
I don't even think that's online anymore, Volume 2.
No,
it's
so
not.
You gotta have like you gotta have a physical copy. And Volume 1 was never online. Volume 1? I
discovered you on 2, so I don't know if I ever even heard 1.
Yeah, 1 I did with Double Edge. I think it was 2006. I think when that dropped.
I think so. I think you dropped that before we met.
Yeah, that was old album. My first one, The Appetizer.
Yep.
Crazy old. I don't even sound like the same person anymore.
2005, probably.
Seen some things since then. Yeah, man.
For sure. Well, all right, man. Thank you for listening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for listening to another episode of I Will Not Lose Podcast. To support the show, visit iwillnotlosepodcast.com. You can subscribe to your favorite podcast player, share the episode link, leave a comment. Your contribution is greatly appreciated. And if you're listening in and can't see the QR code for donation, go to tothedesigner.com/links, and there's instructions to donate up there. Thanks so much.